just wanna play. I wanna sing my song. I just wanna run and not be gone too long. 'Cause this time is precious still. I wanna keep it close to me. I'm wishing on a star to make more time to see. You can always dream. You can put your life on hold. 'Cause time won't wait for you. You can always see what is here in the now. And then you'll find out how to keep dreaming. You can always dream. No one's taken that from you. Only you can see it through. Just like the way you do. So feed it from your soul and weigh it from both sides. The fulcrum and the tides will give direction that you'll know. You can always dream. You can put your life on hold. 'Cause time won't wait for you. You can always see what is here in the now. And then you'll find out how to keep dreaming. When you make the time, it's a game of give and take. When the balance is at stake, you need to take a look inside. Look deep into your heart and remember how it feels. It's where the answer lies and tells you what is real. You can always dream. You can put your life on hold. 'Cause time won't wait for you. You can always see
Good morning, Celebration Center and friends. My name is Irina Kurasiewicz, and I am practitioner here at the center. And today I'm going to be your host and your platform practitioner. So we are happy to have you here in our beloved Hyde Hall. Or of course, we are also happy to have you online on all the platforms. You're joining us. We're happy that you are there. And so please be in touch with us, and please continue to be our friends and let us know who you are and where are you from. You always can do it just saying hi in the chat. We have a QR code that you can scan and send us all the information. And if you're here in Hyde Hall, there are cream colored cards that you can fill in and let us know who you are. We would love to be in touch. We would love to get to know you better if you've been here for a while. So today we have a wonderful service prepared for you, and we say it every single Sunday because it's absolute truth. So why to change truth, right? Today we have music from our dear and beloved music director, Lynn Hollyfield. She's going to have a concert this afternoon, so she's sharing her love and her music with lots of people, and we will be happy to have her today on the screen. Dianne Stewart Hamlin is our guest speaker today, and I will introduce her a little bit later, but I'm sure that lots of people know and love Dianne as much as I do. And of course, let's give a round of applause to our team that is behind the computers and sound and video. And another round of applause to each and everyone who can hear my voice right now, because without you, this service wouldn't be possible. So give yourself a round of applause. Okay, now we have announcements. There are lots of interesting things going on, and number one is today, after the service, we have our own indoor picnic. So like Stephanie, I like how she said, if you're not there, you still have time to drive and come to the picnic. So yeah, maybe switch on your YouTube, listen to us, and drive, but be careful. And then, this is our indoor picnic. Please join us today, September 8th at 12:15, right after the service. Well, the next thing, I think it's Miriam's art night, and there is not night anymore. It moved to afternoon. So this is now in person at the art party. Oh, it's not art night. Oh, you see, that's what I was thinking. Well, it's art party, not at night party. It's after the service. It's on Sunday. It's from 12:15 to 1:30, and please send Miriam an email, and all the donations can be made to CCSL. So for more information, visit celebrationcenter.org. And another exciting things we have is that Reverend Faith and Jen Fay are back from their summer vacation. And they're back from their summer vacation. And they have guided meditations. They're back, and it's on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. And the Power of 8 healing group that I know is very popular, and I'm sure that people are missing that. It's back. It's Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Is it that true? Okay. And so again, for all the details, please check the newsletter or contact Reverend Faith or Jen Fay. So, and there are more interesting things to come. And with that, I would like to welcome Lynn on the screen and listen to the opening song.
Hey, good morning, everyone. We're going to sing our first song, Peace, Salam, Shalom by Pat Humphries and Sandy Aptow. Here we go. Peace, Salam, Shalom. Peace, Salam, Shalom. Peace, Salam, Shalom. Peace, Salam, Shalom. We believe in 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 peace, salam, shalom. We will work for 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 peace, salam, shalom. We can live in 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 peace, salam, shalom. We believe 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 in peace, salam, shalom.
I would love to listen to that song and Lynn's voice for so much more. So let's start this time of prayer in our service with reading our vision, the Celebration Center vision. So take a deep breath and read with enthusiasm. We are celebrating spirit within and knowing the oneness of humanity. I think this is the good vision of peace. And I invite us all to relax as much as we can in this moment. And again, if you're driving to the picnic, please don't close your eyes. Just be present in this moment and feel the support of your chair or the floor. And don't think of it as just chair or just floor. This is the divine support. And the chair and the floor is always here to remind us that we are loved and supported. And let's take 3 long breaths together. Breathe in, hold, and breathe out. Breathe in, hold, and breathe out. And breathe in, and hold, and breathe out. And maybe you notice right now that your heart space has expanded. And now it expands more than your body can imagine. More than this room, more than this planet. As it expands within the divine, it becomes that energy that creates it all. And just be in this state and open your heart for the quote, for the contemplation today. And I chose a quote from Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He says, "One day we must come to see that peace is not merely a distant goal that we seek, but that it is a means by which we arrive at that goal. We must pursue peaceful ends through peaceful means." and in my heart and in my soul, I know that peace is, as I know that God is. And I know that God is that peaceful energy, that creative energy that creates it all in peace and harmony. So I know that I don't need to seek for peace, as it is always present within me. I am made of peace. And I recognize peace everywhere. I shift my consciousness and bring myself to that awareness that peace is. It is there where I can see it. It's in the beautiful blue skies and white clouds. It's in the waves of the sea, waters of the river. It is in beautiful leaves of the trees and flowers. It is there. And I know that it is also there when I can't see it. I know that there is peace within the news, on TV or the radio. I know there is peace when there is fear of being hungry or not having home. I know that there is peace where is war. And knowing that God is all there is, I do not deny hunger or war. I acknowledge that condition, and it is existing in the physical world. And as a science of mind practitioner, I know that peace is the essence of everything. So I go below the surface of the condition and I see God, I see peace, I see harmony. And I choose peace, I choose harmony, I choose love, I choose smile, I choose joy. And I breathe it in. And I recognize that I am one and inseparable from the divine. And I am peace. And as I recognize peace as myself, I recognize peace as everyone and everything. And I make myself to look and find peace within everything I see. And I breathe it in. And it expands. It expands within me. And I send it forth. I act from peace. I think from peace. I speak from peace. And I know that everyone on my way and those who I will never meet, they're all perfect expressions of the divine. And all the God qualities belongs to them. And this is a fun part of it, is to find, to see what God quality do I see expressed as you right here, right now. And I recognize wholeness. I recognize abundance and prosperity. And I breathe it in. And I know that all the prayer requests are answered. Because what is prayer request? Is a desire to see that God's qualities expressed in someone's life. And I see it. I see it and I know it and I believe it. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to have this opportunity. I'm so grateful that this philosophy exists and that is available for everyone who would like to practice it. I'm so grateful to know the divine truth. I'm so grateful to know that peace is within. And I let it be. I release it into the law, knowing that my words are already done, heard and done in the perfect mind of God. And I simply let it be, in joy and in harmony and in peace. And so it is. Well, hello. It's so nice to open the eyes after the prayer and see so many people. Like it's a magic. It is my privilege and pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, who is not a guest here. She came home. She spent some time. She's the child who's traveling or doing something. And this is my dear friend, Dianne Stewart Hamlin. And if you don't know anything about Dianne, I never have her formal bio because we took so many classes together and the training together. And when you take those classes, you don't need each other's bios. You know so much more than that. We know all about our families, you know, what bothers us, what triggers us, what we love. And what I know about Dianne, that she's always here for you. She can be a million miles away, but when I think about her, she's there. Her presence is there. She's that practitioner in heart. I think she was born to be a practitioner, to know the truth about herself and about others. So, and she, well, I'm sure she'll incorporate a new stage in her life. She's an empty nester now. And she still helps people. And if you don't know, Dianne is a lawyer, and it's a very tough part of the law. She represents the state of Maryland in the cases where it's very hard decisions should be made if the children are staying with their parents or they have to be taken by the state. And Dianne, being a practitioner, I know that every second she's in that courtroom, she brings that knowledge that even those who are seen maybe like not very good people, they are perfect expressions of the divine. And I know that Dianne today came with her heart full, with her soul full, and I just can't wait to be within Dianne's love and her wisdom. So please help me to welcome Dianne Stewart Hamlin.
Super biased.
I am. I'm in love.
She's super biased. I love her so much. Thank you. Hi, Celebration Center. How are you? Good. I'm glad she's telling you all that I'm an empty nester, because it's definitely interesting to be in a place where I've spent 20 years living with other humans, and now I don't. And so it's really interesting to get up in the morning and do all my spiritual practices and engage in, meditation, and I don't have to say, wait a minute, I'm not done yet, because they still think that they get 30 minutes after they wake up, then they can talk to me. And that's been the rule in the house. And now I don't have a timer. I don't have to say, I'm mommy's praying or meditating or put my finger up. So that's kind of odd. So I have been pouring a lot lately and thinking about oneness and releasing. My girlfriend and I talked about that last weekend, about what it's like to release relationships, have them shift in a way, because I have literally released them. I've taken them out of the nest, and they're flying on their own. One's finding themselves, and the other one is off at college, adulting, as she calls it. And she's not really adulting, right? Because she's not paying for anything. I'm like, no, I am double adulting, thank you. And you just go to school. But she's like, I have to get myself up. I've got to make sure I do all my things, and there's nobody there to remind me. And I'm like, you're semi-adulting. This is not what it's going to look like when you get out there and start paying all those bills. And so it's interesting because I've had to be conscious that she is still with me and I'm still with her and we're still one. She's not that far away. She's just in Baltimore. So it's not like, she's on the other side of the country or, another state or anything of that sort. But I found myself wanting to call every morning and see if she's okay, and then wanting to call every evening and make sure she's okay, and checking on. I have this app called Life 360 where I kind of stalk my kids and I stalk my parents, and I know where they are at all times. My parents live in California. I'm like, what are you doing at Costco? you know? And so I had to stop doing that because I was getting a little obsessive about her being away rather than just knowing she's just like the wave to the ocean. She rolls right back in. She's got individual qualities, but that's who we are to God. We roll back in. We're waves to the ocean. We never get separated from the ocean. We come out to shore, or we have big, huge tidal waves out in the ocean, and we're doing lots of things, but we're always in the ocean. We're never separate from it, so we always roll back into it. And I always think about that when I think about what does it mean to be one with the divine. The divine is the ocean. It's the air that we breathe. It's all of it. And we are a part of it. And as Irina was praying, I could feel that energy of we are all together always in one. We're individualized expression of the divine, but we're always together, rolling back into the ocean, getting our power and our strength from that, and never needing anything else, because everything that's necessary for the unfolding of our good we already have. So I was reading yesterday, because I lead this every other Saturday. I do prayer and meditation online for another community, and I had to read, and the reading, because I usually read, so this is Meditations of the Heart by Howard Thurman, and I was thinking about order, right? Because part of oneness is order. There's order in the universe. There's order with the sun coming up and setting as the moon rises and sets. There's order in the breeze that's blowing. There's order as plants grow. There's order as seasons change. Yesterday I was chilly in my house, and I was like, oh, fall is coming. There's order in all of these things. So I went in and I looked at this. Because usually what I do is I just open the book, and whatever it opens to is what I read that day. And so I was reading this thing called There's Order in Life. And it talks, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it talks about the fact that we see order in nature, but we often don't see order in our own lives, right? We think that something is happening to us chaotically, happening to us, not recognizing that every single thing in our life comes in order, and there's harmony there, and there is something to learn. And I think it was Irina that was saying, it's not just the end, it's the journey, right? So the joy is in the journey, the harmony is in the journey, the order is in the journey, and as you go through life, that's what you're experiencing, the beauty of life, the oneness of life. We are all in it together. And if, for example, Irina wasn't here, or if Reverend Faith wasn't here today, the dynamics of this room would be very different. It would have a different kind of energy. But we're all here together, journeying together. And what it says in this, it says, when a man or a woman assumes that in matters touching his life, the life of man, and the life of man there is no order, only chaos or accident, then he may escape the responsibility for his own actions. And that word came up for me 5 times yesterday. If somebody else said responsibility to me, I was going to be so mad. I was like, stop. I don't want to stop. Like, I want to feel sorry for myself right now that I'm all alone in this house. I want to feel sad that my kids are gone. Let me have that responsibility in the experience that I'm having. And when I am having it, my children are also having it because there's oneness, right? My parents are having it, so they're calling to see if I'm okay. And one of my girlfriends called and did a wellness check on me because she was like, "This is a wellness call. I'm just making sure you're okay." And I started looking at what is the responsibility that I have right now to process this shift in my life because it's not a loss, it's a shift. And so, what do I do now? What is my responsibility to process it so that all who are concerned around me can experience me processing it rather than worrying about me? Because my mother's calling me like 3 times a day. Are you okay? Is everything all right? What are you doing? Did you cook? What are you eating? And she's just going on and on. And so I had to start processing the journey, right? And the shift. And it's something that you have to do in all the areas. Irina talks about the work that I do. The work that I do out in another part of the world really is actually represent the parents who are being separated from their children and who are facing this very intense work. But I have to be responsible about how I show up to that work. And I have to take responsibility about how I show up. So I have to get up every day and make sure I'm spiritually grounded. I have to get up every day and make sure I have on my spiritual cloak, right? Because I'm going in and it's not a separate thing. It's who I am inside. And that peace that's inside that Irina talks about, we have to, that she was praying about, we have to go in and allow that to be a part of what we're doing so that we are all sharing the one experience. Because everybody in that courtroom is working towards really one goal in different ways. And so you bring your responsibility to the thing that is necessary for you to show up. And that means you're praying, you're meditating, you're talking, you're watching what's going into your mind, you're taking care of your mind, you're monitoring the things that you are talking about. What conversations are you having? Are you having high-level conversations? Or are you having, other level conversations? Are you tearing people down? Are you building people up? Are you loving and sharing love and joy and harmony and peace? Are you recognizing that the person that you are talking to, working with, is just a part of you and just a part of spirit and just an expression of the divine and not someone that's an other or different from or separate from? They are you and you are them. One of the things I practice when I go out to walk, which honestly I haven't been doing as much as I should, but when I go out to walk, as I walk towards people and they're walking, because we're a neighborhood of people that walk all the time, I see them and I say, and I learned this from Reverend Faith's husband, when I see you, I see God. And God and I are both impressed. I learned that 25 years ago. And I still do that. When I'm walking, right, because I'll get anxious if I see someone with a big dog that's not properly leashed or something like that, or it's dark and I don't know who's coming towards me. And I just remind myself, when I see you, I see God. When I go to work in the courthouse, when I see you, I see God. And we are both impressed. God and I are impressed with your greatness, your magnificence, your beauty, your health, your wholeness, the gifts that you are bringing to the world. And so I walk with that. That's a practice for me. That's a spiritual practice. And I can tell you, I know when I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do spiritually. I don't know about anybody else here, but I am so aware of it now that I come into court or I go into the office and I'm already looking at people, and I can feel my attitude, right? And I'm like, oh no. And so sometimes I have to go in and close the door and catch myself and remember, when I see her, I'm seeing God. And it does not matter whether I like how she's expressing right now, but she is still God expressed. And whatever she's going through, or he's going through, or they're going through, it is an expression of the divine. And I don't get to treat it less than anything, but with love. Now, that doesn't mean, I'm a doormat and I lay down and let you walk all over me. That's not what I'm saying at all, but have compassion, Diane. Have compassion. I was talking to a client yesterday about that. Have compassion. How does, how are you expressing and treating this person as if they're a part of you, they're part of the divine? They are absolutely created out of the same image and likeness as you are. How are you showing up in that way? You know, my client was talking to me about her mother, who's very Caribbean, and I can relate, and how her mother was saying, you know, oh, you don't call me enough and you don't show up enough. And her mother was doing that whole woe is me thing. And she's like, she's such a martyr and she's this and she's that. And I said, well, you know, that's kind of the environment in which she was raised. That's kind of how she knows how to express. And if you don't engage in it and you just call her and just love her and not, you know, have an argument about how many times a week you actually call, if you just do that, you're giving her love and compassion instead of pointing out and focusing on the thing that's bugging you. Remember, you and her are one. Remember, you and her are the same. You're God expressed, and I'm sure there's things that you do that she doesn't like, you know, and you don't want her to focus on those things. You want her to focus on the good things, you know. And I use this example all the time about, you know, we say what you put your attention on grows, right? And if you want order in your life, then you have to be orderly and put your attention on order. If you want harmony, you have to be harmonious. And if you want peace, allow it to come out of you because it's already there. Allow it to express itself in your life so that you are not walking around wanting something, because wanting something, right, is indicating that you don't have it. You're telling the universe that you're lacking it. Instead, recognize within yourself through spiritual practice that you have peace, you have harmony, you have abundance, you have prosperity, you have health, and then allow it to radiate in your actions. And I say put your attention, what you put your attention on grows. And this is an experiment I think I might have done in prac class, where I had 2 plants. And I talked to one every day and watered it once a week and said good morning and made sure it got light and rotated the plant. And the other one just kind of sat there. And after about a month, that plant was struggling to stay alive because I wasn't putting my attention on it. It was struggling to grow. And when I started talking to that plant and I moved it into the light, because, you know, I'm one of those people that if they tell me something in class, whether it's Reverend Faith or whoever it is, I have to go prove it. I cannot just take your word for it. So what you put your attention on grows. And I did that experiment. And then when I started putting that plant on the counter in the light, and I started talking to it, and then I started watering it and tilling the soil around it, and it started perking up and growing. And I was like, there you go, proof. What you put your attention on grows. So put your attention on it in your life. Put your attention on health. Prove these facts. Prove me now in this, it says in Scripture. Prove these facts. Go out. When they teach you something, when you hear someone stand here and tell you that you are already peaceful, you already have peace deep within you, try letting it out. Try being peaceful at work instead of, or at home, with whoever you engage with. Just be peace. Be an expression of peace. Be an expression of joy. Say good morning to people when you walk down the street and see how that makes you feel. That's another one that I love to do, is just walk past people I don't know, perfect strangers, and say, hi, good morning. And then they're like, oh, good morning, because we don't expect each other to interact in oneness as much as we used to. We don't expect to come together in unity and harmony and love as much as we used to. So when someone gives you joy, gives you a smile, and it startles you, that tells you can tell where you are in your spiritual journey right now. You can feel the gauge. That is a gauge. When someone smiles at you and you don't immediately smile back, or you feel startled by the smile, that's a gauge about where you are. And so where are you? Where are they? And it's time for us, especially in the world that we find ourselves in right now, to start releasing love and joy from deep within ourselves, and harmony and peace and kindness, generosity. We need to step up now and take responsibility for how we're showing up, not just when we show up at Celebration Center and we're going to have the indoor picnic and we're going to all be nice to each other, and then we get in the car and we're scowling at the person in front of us because they're braking, too early. Why are you braking? How do I know? Ask me how I know. And you can check your temperature just by, and that's what I suggest, check your spiritual temperature and figure out, am I living in this world as if I'm one with this world? Am I living in this world as if I'm one with all the people around me? Am I taking responsibility for my spiritual makeup so that I know when I show up that I'm showing up with all of who I am and all of who I'm created to be? Am I doing the self-care? Am I doing the things that allows me to show up in such a manner that I give others permission? Because when I show up and I smile at you, I'm giving you permission to smile back at me. See, it worked. And when I say, hi, good morning, I gave everybody permission to say good morning, Dianne. When I go into my place of work, I say good morning to everyone. I smile, I stop, I ask them how they're doing. I know all the security guards at all the different doors because I talk to them. They know who I am, I know who they are. They now see me and say, happy Friday, happy Wednesday, we're almost done. We have this interaction because I created it, because that's the environment I want to be in. I want to be in a world where I know and the people around me know that they matter and I matter and we all matter. And that's the thing. When you bring your love, when you bring your joy, when you go to the grocery store, these are your assignments for the week. You go to the grocery store, talk to the clerk. Say, hi, how are you? How's it going? I hope you have a good day. They're always so startled when you talk to them because nobody talks to them. People just go and swipe and leave. And they don't talk to the people that are of service to us. We don't talk to them. Let's spread that kind of love and joy. Let's see a neighbor and wave. See how they're doing. Go across the street and say, hey, how are you? Let's reach out to one another in the oneness. Let's see God wherever we go, in whoever we are with. Let's see the love and light of God everywhere, in everyone, and everything. Even those who are struggling to express at their highest and best, let's hold them in love and light and know for them that they are one and they too have peace and harmony and love within them, even though right now they may not be expressing that. Let's hold that space around everyone that we come in contact with, that we see on the television, that we see in the news, that we see on the Beltway. Let's hold love and light for them and just know, whatever's going on, that they're okay. That was my spiritual practice when I used to drive to prayer class, was to know as I was coming down around the Beltway that everyone, whoever was rushing and speeding, had an emergency that they needed to get to, and they had something important that they needed to deal with, and that I didn't have to be in judgment. That's where I started. So you can start small, and then you can hold all the big people and the big things and the big situations in love and light and harmony, knowing that right where each one of us is, God is. So let's just take a moment to pray. And really take a nice deep breath. Just allowing the words to settle into your soul, the words that came through me as me. How grateful I am to be reminded right here and now that all is in God and God is in all. That every single thing is in the presence of God. Every single person, everywhere is in the presence of the divine, completely undergirded, supported, and wrapped in the divine. That right where I am, God is, and right where each person in this congregation is, God is online, everywhere, everything is wrapped in the power and presence of God, and we are all individualized expression of the divine. And just as the wave to the ocean, we are never separate. We roll right back into God. And so we know with absolute certainty that each one of us carries with us peace and harmony and love, prosperity, joy, abundance, order, love, 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 love. It's all there within us. And we can be perfect expressions of it because we already are. And so now we are mindful as we walk through our days that we are carrying all of those God qualities within us, and we can share them from a simple smile to a hello, to how are you, to seeing the person that you're working with or that you're talking to or that you're in contact with or that pops in your mind, that you just remembered them, that we are knowing that where they are, God is. And that they are, too, a perfect expression of the divine. Every blade of grass, every leaf on every tree, every bird in the sky, everyone, everything, everywhere is in the presence of God. And so we stand in this awareness and we make a decision to be responsible with the truth that we know about our individual selves and share it so that others around us get the same permission to shine their lights too. And we make the world a better place because each one of us is here and has been here and continues to be here in the bodies that we have. And we continue to share and make the world a place that works for all. For this and so much more, I'm giving thanks. I know that my words are filled full and full of the Holy Spirit, full of the divine, and they fall on the fertile, loving soil of God itself. They're made manifest, they're made whole, and each one of us carries with us a certainty and a responsibility that right where we are, God is. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Dianne. That was beautiful. I'm going to share a John Lennon song. I think it fits. Imagine. Please sing along with me.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Ooh. possessions. I wonder if we can. No need for greed or hunger, a brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say we are dreamers, but we're not the only ones. We hope someday all will join us, and the world will live as one. Ooh. Ooh.
Didn't I promise you a wonderful service? Let's give more love to our dear Lynn. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And more love to Dianne. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mm. Well, and this is the time in our service for our gifts and offerings. We're a tithing community and rely on tithes and gifts from our congregation. So, and please know that your presence, your love, your skills, your talents, your financial support, and you just being here is a gift to our community, and we are very, very grateful. And if you would like to share your financial gifts, there are several ways to do it. First of all, you can go to our website, celebrationcenter.org, and there is a special button that you can click and donate there. You also can, through the website, find our address and mail us a check if this is what you prefer to do, or we have this QR code that you can scan and give money. And we always accept cash and checks in the beautiful baskets we have at the table. And we have our affirmation that we read when we talk about the abundance and prosperity. So again, take a deep breath and read. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I invite us all to bless, yes, and I do give thanks that this is so, and so it is. That's the full affirmation. And let's go and bless together all the gifts and all the financial prosperity and abundance of the universe that I know is manifested through the Celebration Center right here, right now. I know that every member and everyone who's a member of this wide community, because we are a worldwide community, I know that abundance is here. It is here now and forever. And I know prosperity is being easily and effortlessly expressed through the Celebration Center and its members and friends. I know that the lights are on. I know that this mic is on. I know I hear the music. I hear the wisdom of our speakers. I know that there are fun gatherings. There are art parties. There are meditations, classes, services, Sunday gatherings, and social hours. I know that we are here and we're here to share. And I know that this is divine expression of so many people. And I'm so grateful to be a part of it and to know that Celebration Center is prosperous and abundant. And I just simply let it be. And this is so. And so it is. And with that, I think that we are coming to our closing song.
Okay, hi everyone. We're gonna
I hope you'll sing with me. I wish I could hear you all there. I'm going to do Leah Morris's song, Heart Wide Open. So help me out here, okay? You've got to keep your heart wide open until your faith brings you back to solid ground. You've got to keep your heart wide open, though the waves want to push you around. You've got to keep, I'm gonna keep your heart, gonna keep wide open, gonna keep my heart wide open, though the waves wanna push you around, though the waves wanna push me around. I gotta keep my heart wide open until the faith brings me back to solid ground. Brings me back to solid ground. You gotta keep your heart wide open, though the waves want to push you around. You gotta keep your heart wide open until your faith brings you back to solid ground. You've got to keep your heart wide open until your faith brings you back to solid ground. Until your faith brings you back to solid ground. Until your faith brings you back to solid ground.
Now, with that, I invite us all to say our affirmation that I just picked up from this song, because I think it's a wonderful affirmation to take into the week. So if you feel like it, stand up, give yourself some wiggles and energy, and let's say it together. I keep my heart wide open. Until my faith brings me back to solid ground. And so it is.